Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'll be predicting all the year-end champions in the UFC by the year of 2025. By the end of 2025, who all will be champion from heavyweight to women's strawweight in the UFC. I'll be predicting all the champions for all the weight classes. So let's get right into it. We're going to start with the heavyweight, go all the way down to women's strawweight. So at heavyweight, current champion is John Bones Jones, who I think will be the champion by the end of 2025, will be Tom Aspinall. And yeah, whether John Jones beats Tom Aspinall, loses Tom Aspinall, or just retires, there's really not much left for him in the sport in general. Like Tom Aspinall, really his last real big fight he could make. The Ngannou fight not happening, and that's definitely what happened in UFC anyway. Pereira could be a heavyweight, but they probably gonna do that light heavyweight or some money weight or whatever. But if that does happen, so yeah, it's not really much left for him to do, and they're not gonna allow him to just hold up a division just for a super fight. Like, so win, lose, or draw that fight, John Jones probably won't be the champion by the end of 2025. So Tom Aspinall is the second best fighter in the weight class, and that seems pretty clear. So Tom Aspinall should be the champion by the end of 2025, regardless. Win, lose, or draw, should be the champion by the end of 2025. Light heavyweight, the current champion is Alex Pereira. I think the only one that really has a threat for him is, or the person who has the biggest threat. There are definitely some strikers who have posed some threat. Like Uberg is a real legit threat. But yeah, the one who poses a full all-around threat for him is definitely Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev definitely has a good chance to beat him. I might even, by the time the fight comes up, I might pick Ankalaev to beat him if that fight does come up. But it seems like these two are not meeting, eye to eye. They're not seeing eye to eye. Ankalaev doesn't want to fight this time because of this, and Pereira don't want to fight him this time, or really in general just does not care to fight him. So, and it seems like Pereira has gotten out of fighting him again. So I think Pereira might fight 2 or 3 times a year. So he already seemingly has got past Ankalaev again one time. So it's gonna be like a hard test to see if that fight even happens. And I do probably right now lean to Pereira beating Ankalaev if they do match up. But yes, on top of it, I feel like he beats him currently. Then on top of that, does he even get the fight? So yeah, there's a bunch of different things going on with that fight. A lot of little musical chairs going on. A lot of musical chairs. So current champion Alex Pereira, and by the end of 2025, I think it's Alex Pereira. 2026, different thing. 2025, I think Pereira's still the champion by the end of 2025. Middleweight. Current champion at middleweight is Dricus du Plessis, and by the end of 2025, I think that Kyle Bahia will be the champion. I know Khamzat is solid and all. He's dangerous. He's scary. I know Strickland barely lost their last fight. Now, in my honest opinion, I feel like Strickland won the first fight. So there's a lot of people, other people that you feel could beat du Plessis who are in a better position to beat du Plessis. And also there's the case where Strickland loses again to du Plessis. Then Khamzat gets the next shot. Khamzat beats du Plessis. And then it just said, like, I'm not going to fight again the rest of the year because of injury. Or try to take 2 fights. So that's a whole other thing. So Bahia might not even get a chance. So that is a risky element to it. Like, Khamzat could, that's not even an easy thing to say that Khamzat's going to beat Drake. It's not an easy, foregone conclusion that Khamzat's going to beat him. Like, in my honest opinion. It's not a foregone conclusion by any means. But yeah, it's a lot of ifs. But if Khamzat is able to get his hand on the belt, knowing how injury prone he is and how he barely fights, there could be a case he gets the belt and doesn't fight again until December 2026. Like, it could be a case like that. It could definitely be a case like that. And then he's scheduled to fight in December 2026. Then he gets injured again, and then we don't see him fight in 2027. And then by that point, the belt's vacated. They have an interim belt, so another little element there. But I'm gonna say, yeah, I think Bahia's the best fighter. So whether Dricus keeps the belt, whether Khamzat wins the belt, or whether Strickland gets the belt, I just think that Kyle Bahia is the best overall fighter at that weight class. I think his striking is solid to hold up with just about anyone in the weight class. I think he has the best BJJ actively in the middleweight division. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic. He got all the intangibles. I feel like, and he could push the pace for 5 rounds. As we saw with Cannonier. We know Khamzat has questionable cardio even at middleweight. I think Kyle Bahia is a better striker than Khamzat. I think he has good counter wrestling to kind of neutralize Khamzat, and then again stand him and put him away. And similar to what Dricus, I just feel like he can address the grappling of Dricus. And I think he's a much more fleshed out fighter in the grappling and striking departments than Dricus. So I think he could be Dricus all around. I think he can neutralize Khamzat. And Strickland just so predictable. Strickland's a tough out, but he's so predictable. I think Kyle Bahia can make adjustments. I think he's only gonna get better. I feel like Strickland has plateau. He's good at what he does, but he's not getting any better. So yeah, I feel like Kyle Bahia beats everyone in the weight class. I feel like, yeah, I think Kyle Bahia beats everyone at the weight class. So if he gets his shot, I think he will be champion by the end of 2025. So Kyle Bahia champion by the end of 2025 in the middleweight division. Welterweight, current champion Belal Muhammad. And I will say by the end of 2025, I will say that Belal Muhammad will be and still welterweight champion. And still welterweight champion. I think Khamzat, not Khamzat. Shavkat showed a lot of weakness in the Ian Gary fight. He's still a big threat, but I think Belal is still extremely underrated. Pushes a crazy pace, good wrestling, only getting better. I think he has a higher fight IQ than just about every single fighter in that weight class, if not every single fighter in that weight class. And yeah, he probably gonna fight like 2 times. I think Shavkat probably gonna be his first title defense, and then yeah, he might have another fighter there, but like I feel like a B-level fighter like what's his name, JDM Jack Della Maddalena, who has definitely had a history of questionable grappling defense. Probably get him there, and yeah, or maybe Usman fights Jack Della Maddalena and gets by, and then it's by this point, Belal just got much more in the tank left than Usman, and definitely got healthy knees unlike Usman, and is able to outwork Usman. Like Usman gets like a title fight off of one win, whether it be like a JDM title fight or whether it be like a Usman title fight. I think that's how it's gonna be. If he gets past Shavkat, it's gonna be like a JDM or Usman. It's his second title defense. His first title defense would be Shavkat. Second would be the winner of JDM versus Usman if that fight is scheduled, but we don't know yet. But yeah, I think Shavkat's a hard fight. It's a very big if and a very big task, but I think Belal Muhammad is the cleaner all together put together fighter. I feel like Shavkat is the better striker, but I feel like Belal has better footwork, better defense, better cardio, better wrestling, and I think he'll be able to make the better adjustments and be able to win that one. At least for this video. By the time the fight comes out, I might have a different prediction, but as far as this future prediction, like long shot, right now I'm picking Belal. So we'll see. But right now, I think Belal will be champion. The big test again, the Shavkat gets past him. And I think he clears everyone else. So I think he clears everyone else outside of Shavkat for sure. But Shavkat is at least everyone that's in the picture right now. It might be some of the young guys coming up, but they might be a year or 2 from getting to their potential to really beat Belal, and also 2 years for Belal to get older. Because Belal is not the youngest spring chicken, but yeah, he's not gonna be a champion for a long time. But I think he definitely hold on to that belt to the end of 2025. So for the champion by the end of 2025 in the welterweight division will be Belal Muhammad. Current champion Belal, end of 2025 champion Belal Muhammad. So in still. All right, lightweight champion, lightweight division. The current champion of the UFC's lightweight division is Islam Makhachev. That's the current champion of the UFC's lightweight division, Islam Makhachev. I think he's the current champion. I mean, I don't think he is the current champion. And by the end of 2025, I think he will still be the champion. I think he might fight like once or twice a year. Probably realistically like once. Probably once. Because when he fights Armand, if he gets past him, which I think he does, who's really there? You going to fight Charles Oliveira again? Or you going to fight some random? And I don't think they're going to make the Topuria fight. So he probably might fight once this year. And probably maybe by the end of the year, he might fight one more time. Maybe. But I don't feel like he's going to have so much fights this year. And I don't really feel like no one in the picture right now is such a big threat to him. Like, I don't feel like no one currently that's going to fight him, be able to fight him in 2025 is going to be able to beat him. Because I think Ilya has a good shot, but I don't think Ilya's ready yet. Because he got to come up like a lot of weight to that weight class. And then fight the best fighter, maybe the best fighter that there ever has been at that weight class. And yeah, I know he's been doing some great things, but I think he's going to, again, and even himself, he was in his hypothetical situation, he was taking some build-up fights. He wasn't like, I'm going to jump up and fight Islam. I'm going to fight Charles Oliveira. I'm going to fight this guy, fight that guy first. So, a lot of big ifs. And ultimately, I feel like the UFC is going to keep Topuria there defending his belt and probably try to make that matchup in 2027. But we'll see. But right now, the people that are near him in his weight class, in the title picture, I don't think any one of them really poses a true interesting challenge for Islam. So the current champion is Islam Makhachev, and by the end of 2025, the champion will still be Islam Makhachev. All right, and that's the lightweight division. Now we go to the featherweight division. In the featherweight division, the current champion is Ilia Topuria, as I mentioned in the lightweight division picture as well. But yeah, the current champion is Ilia Topuria. And I think by the end of 2025, the champion will still be Ilia Topuria. 2027, that's a different beast. But 2025, oh, I said 2027, I'm jumping over here. 2026 is a whole different beast. But 2025, yeah, 2025, I think that's all Ilia. I think Ilia is right in his groove, right in his prime. And I think everything's lined up for him. And I really can't see no one beating him that's currently there in the picture. There's definitely some people that have little sneaky chances of beating, like little sneaky chances. But yeah, I think he beat Maravsar Evloev. I think he beats Diego Lopez. So yeah, those are people that are really in the picture right now. And if he has fights, at the most he's gonna fight 2 times a year. He's not gonna fight 3-4 times a year. He's gonna fight 2 times a year at most. Most likely probably like 1 time. And it's most likely gonna be Maravsar Evloev. Then maybe they might throw in Diego Lopez at the end of the year, maybe. And that's a big maybe. And again, I don't see either of those guys beating him. So by the end of the year, it will be Ilia Topuria. So the current champion is Ilia Topuria. Let me say that again. The current champion is Ilia Topuria in the featherweight division. And by the end of year 2025, the champion of the featherweight division will still be Ilia Topuria. So now we go to the bantamweight division. And the current champion is Merab Dvalishvili. And I think by the end of, by the end of 2025, I think the champion will be Umar Nurmagomedov. And that's actually like our second card of the year. Yeah, I think Umar will be champion by the end of the year. And I'm not going to try to make it a stint like, oh, he going to do this, he going to do that. If he does this, he does that. I just feel like Umar is just better overall than Merab. And he has a wealth of experience dealing with fighters like Merab in his gym day in and day out since the day he was born and birthed out the womb. Training with Khabib and Islam and a bunch of other unnamed, unknown fighters, and bring in Olympic champions and bring in U.S. champions and Dagestani champions and Euro champions, and Russian champions. So he has a lot of experience with that. I just think, yeah, it's kind of hard to see him being beat by Merab. It just seemed like he was supposed to be champion last year. He gets a shot this year, early this year, and he'll be champion this year. Similar to Ilia Topuria. Ilia Topuria should have been champion in 2023, but it eventually took to 2024. What's his name? Umar should have been champion in 2024, but he's going to get it early in 2025. It just seemed like undeniable. There might be some more threats for him in 2026, but as far as 2025, it is like the picture around him right now, nobody seems to be the greatest threat to him. And Rob is a great fighter, but Umar literally like has everything lined up for him. He's younger. He's more well-rounded. Plenty of wrestling experience, good wrestling defense, good wrestling offense, high-level BJJ as well, high-level grappling. It's like kind of hard to see where Merab wins the fight outside of what he typically does. And it's not even like it's not even like Umar has bad cardio. He has good cardio as well. So, yeah, Umar champion by the end of 2025. Current champion, Merab Dvalishvili. And by the end of 2025, the champion will be Umar Nurmagomedov. Now we go to the flyweight division. Current champion is Alexandre Pantoja. Current champion is Alexandre Pantoja, and I'm gonna stick with what I said last year. Like it happened last year, but I think Manel Kape becomes champion. I think he becomes champion by the end of 2025. Maybe 2026 will be a different thing. Maybe they let Muhammad Mokaev come back, and Mokaev, accepts his destiny, becomes champion. But it's right now who's in the picture. I think Manel Kape pulls off upset and takes the belt from Pantoja, maybe in his first or second defense of the year for Pantoja, and takes the belt right off him. And again, in maybe 2026, that sets up a matchup with Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape. But yeah, that's a very big if, because Pantoja has been looking better and better with each fight for them. Well, not really, because Usyk was a setback. The Asakura fight, that was a big step forward. But yeah, I think Manel Kape can address the wrestling just enough to stand Pantoja, then put the belt to butt and put him out there in the later stages of the fight, or maybe even catch him early. But I feel like he can do a good job of extending him and then put him out, because Pantoja definitely gets sloppier as the fight goes on. He definitely drops his hand a lot. Definitely, fights through the fatigue a lot. And I think Kape can exploit him in that area and exploit him again either early or extend him and put him away. So I think, I'm gonna roll with Kape to become champion of the the flyweight division by the end of 2025. So current champion Alexandre Pantoja, and by the end of the year 2025, I think that Manel Kape will be the flyweight champion. Now we go over to the women's division. So there is no women's featherweight division. at least as far as we know, no more. We start off in the women's bantamweight division. So we currently have the champion, not Raquel Pena. We currently got Juliana Pena is the women's bantamweight champion. And by the end of the year 2025, I think that Kayla Harrison will be the women's bantamweight champion. We have already seen Juliana Pena get she got armbarred 2 times by strikers, like Durandamine and she got submitted. I don't know if it was exactly armbar, but she got submitted by Durandamine and she got submitted by Valentina Shevchenko. And Kayla Harrison is a 2-time Olympic judo gold medalist, coming from a bigger weight class. I just see she just becomes champion. I think I'm gonna say this on the side. Juliana Pena Loki has a good chance if she uses her wrestling grappling defensively and strikes with Kayla Harrison, because Kayla Harrison's striking has not looked the best. And also pushing the pace. I think Kayla Harrison is a very big bantamweight. She really was like a 55er, but she has drained a tremendous amount of weight. So if Juliana Pena can extend her and strike with her, she could definitely win. But that's a very big if, and I just don't think that's going to happen. Then, yeah, I don't really see no one really beating Kayla Harrison this year. I think Kayla Harrison will get her title shot sometime early or mid this year. And yeah, I don't really see anyone at present really beating her to take that belt before the end of 2025. Maybe 2026 somebody going to step up. But 2025, I don't see the one beating Kayla Harrison. So by the end of the year 2025, I think that Kayla Harrison will be the UFC's woman bantamweight champion. So the current champion, Juliana Pena. And by the end of 2025, the champion will be Kayla Harrison. Now we go over to the women's flyweight division. The current champion is Valentina Shevchenko. Yeah, the current champion is Valentina Shevchenko. And I think by the end of year 2025, the champion of the women's flyweight division will be Manon Fiorot. I'm not too high on Manon Fiorot, but I feel like there's a clear decline in Valentina Shevchenko. She's still good, but she's kind of predictable. I think Fiorot will be able to eke out a split decision over her. And yeah, Valentina is definitely getting up to age. There's probably going to be some better fighters that come along. I'm not so high on Manon Fiorot, but I think at this point, she definitely can get over on Valentina Shevchenko just enough and get a victory over her. She's big, she's strong, another technical striker, younger. And I think she'll be able to get the better of Valentina Shevchenko. And yeah, I think the people that are currently in the picture, I really don't see none of them beating her, in my opinion. So I think, yeah, maybe 2026 will be a different name, but 2025, I think, will be Manon Fiorot's year. Again, 2026, again, a whole nother different puzzle pieces in 2026. But 2025, the pieces that are there, I think they line up for Manon Fiorot. So the current champion is Valentina Shevchenko of the women's flyweight division. And by the end of year 2025, I think the champion will be Manon Fiorot. And now we go on to the women's strawweight division. Now, last but not least division, in the women's strawweight division, the champion is Weili Zhang. And I'm going to go wild. Well, it's not wild card, but it is underdog because Weili Zhang is a strong champion. It's like she's going to continue to be champion. But I'll go wild card. And I'll say Tatiana Suarez will become champion. And someone did make a good point. I started, looking around a little bit. People did make a good point. They were like, she did get out wrestled by Rose Namajunas. She dominated Carla Esparza, but she did get multiple takedowns up to Carla Esparza. There's the whole surprise element. She wasn't really respecting the wrestling of Rose Namajunas, so that's why they were there. She respected grappling of Carla Esparza. That's why she dominated Carla Esparza in the grappling department and finished her on the ground. But Tatiana Suarez is much bigger, and she also dominated Carla Esparza on the ground. Yeah, go Tatiana Suarez to beat Weili Zhang. And this is, again, another big if. This is definitely a dice roll. But Tatiana Suarez is a beast. And the only thing that has really been stopping her for the most part, she had like one bad fight, maybe 1.5 bad fights. But other than that, what really has been stopping Suarez is not losing. It's been injuries. But I think given this chance now, this opportunity, I think she'll rise to the occasion, do what needs to be done to get her hand raised. Show her high level wrestling that it's really outside of Kayla Harrison, which is the highest level of grappling that women's have made currently. there's really not no one even remotely kind of close to Tatiana Suarez's like wrestling, grappling. Like no one remotely close. And I think Tatiana Suarez could bring that to her at a intensity and a skill level that Weili Zhang won't even be able to really replicate. I think Suarez will either be able to grind her out to a decision, which is a very big, or she can find a submission. But I do, again, roll the dice here and think that Tatiana Suarez will be champion and ultimately finally complete her goal. A lot of setbacks, a lot of injuries, but I think she'll be able to get her Kodak moment, come here, rise to the occasion, and get a victory over the reigning champion, Weili Zhang. So the current champion is Weili Zhang. And by the end of year 2025, I think the champion will be, of the women's, UFC women's strawweight division, will be Tatiana Suarez. And that's all my champions for the end of, all my predictions for the champions by the end of 25. So heavyweight, Tom Aspinall. Light heavyweight, Pereira. Middleweight, Kyle Bahayo. Welterweight, Bilal Muhammad. Lightweight, Islam Makhachev. Featherweight, Ilya Topuria. Bantamweight, Umar Nurmagomedov. Flyweight, Mano Kopp. Now, women's division. Women's bantamweight division, Kayla Harrison. Women's flyweight division, Manny Fiorat. And last but not least, women's strawweight division, Tatiana Suarez. And that's all my champions predictions for the year 2025. That's the video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace out.